Okay, I'm going to go out a little bit on this. I think this is going to be a little intense. I mean, they always are. So I don't really want to... Anyways, who cares? Hide glue. Got a couple shims on here. Another shim that I'm going to put in glue, and then I like it to be a nice friction fit, and this one almost works like a key. What I do, and nobody has to do it this way, I always like to put everything in place. This is, to me, these guitars, if you've ever really looked at them, nothing's really in the center and nothing's necessarily really square, and I don't have a problem with that. A lot of this stuff's eyeballed. Rickenbackers are even worse, or better depending upon what your view is. So you know, I appreciate the angles and I appreciate all that, but the reality is, how's this guitar going to play when it's put together? So I have strings on here. I have the two E strings on here. I have the bridge and I have the Bigsby. And we all know, anybody that works with hide glue, it is a very, very time-sensitive material. And pretty much once it goes to a rubbery state, it's over. So it is imperative, I got that word in, big word of the day, it's imperative that this gets set and clamped before it gets rubbery. I know they did tons of these in the factory, and they did them quickly, and they pretty much did them without incident. But the deal is, the amount of a gap in here was just unbelievable. Which again makes me think that the body is the neck and the body weren't original. I believe it was factory. It was a factory job, but I think they might have done something different, and maybe that's something we can ask Dan Duffy about. Maybe when the necks came back, maybe the way that they were doing the mortise and tenon or the dovetail was a little bit different than in maybe what year is it? 56, and who knows when this was done. I'm almost thinking that it might have been a couple of years later, like a 58, because of the screw, because that's when I believe they started doing that. Who knows? But my mind is, if you get this shimmed properly, so there's a pretty tight fit right away, right out of the box. You got a nice tight fit. Then really all the glue is doing is keeping it from popping up. You know, this way should be, it's all tension. It's all part of the dovetail. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. There was a ton of glue, ton of shims. So what I'm going to do, and it's going to happen pretty quickly, believe it or not, is I'm going to glue this in, and then I'm going to glob glue all over here. I'm going to glob glue all over there. I'm going to stick it in, I'm going to clamp it, and then I'm going to put the screw in, and then I'm going to make sure nothing needs to be just slightly tweaked at that point. I don't believe so, because I did a dry fit and everything looked cool. Everything was where it was supposed to be. You're supposed to mix this glue gently. I've had this going for several hours. They say the longer the better. I'm going to wear one glove, and I'm not necessarily worried about myself, but I'm worried about getting it all over. The nice thing about this glue is when you do get it on anything, once it becomes hard, it just pops right off. Shiny, like the top or anywhere where it doesn't have any pressure. So what I do is I wear gloves, and it's mainly to protect the guitar. Protect the guitar. This way I can take these off after the glue's done, and I won't have sticky hands. So that's the idea there. So again, it's like anything else. It's thinking through the process, making sure you're ready to go. Yep. So that baby will go right in. Somebody's going, what the hell is he doing? Yeah, I'd also like to get a piece of paper down so I don't screw up my bench too much. And I'm predicting, I'm going to leave my phone off vibrate. I'm predicting that as soon as this gets intense, the phone will ring. I usually turn it off, but I'm going to honor a bet. And we'll see what happens. Okay, everything's clean. Everything's ready to rock and roll. Stir the glue one last time. And that's it. You're ready to go. With the exception of that small shim that I was discussing earlier. Brilliant. Well, there I go. Get rid of that glove. Take the shim, pop it in right here at the top. Take this, turn it over, and here we go. Get rid of this glove.